Right guys, we're here at Archerfield Links bringing to you a brand new putting series. Now this is brought to you in association with Callaway, Odyssey and their new triple track technology, and we've enlisted the help of renowned putting coach Gary Nicol. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So Gary, it sounds fairly obvious to say, but how important is it to establish, a good starting line for a putt?
It's very important. However, it's not the first thing we should look at. Okay. I think all too often when we look at putting, we go straight into start line because we're focusing again too much attention on line. But if you think about, okay, how am I going to start this on line? Well, first you've got to establish how far the putt is, how hard you're going to hit it.
Yeah.
So not really until, it's not the first step if you like, you've got to assess all this other information first, look at all the clues, gather up all the information you can, and then you choose the start line appropriate to that pace. So all too often we just go straight in, we get down, we have a look behind the ball, we think, right, okay, I know the line for this, but we've not really had a look at how long the putt is, we don't know how hard we're going to hit it, so how can we possibly choose a start line?
So start line is obviously extremely important, but it's not
your first port of call.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So once you've established how far you've got, how hard you're going to hit it, you've been at the low side, you've figured out if it's uphill or downhill, whatever it's going to do, is it right to left, as this one is here. Then, once you've figured out how hard you're going to hit it, then you choose your line if you like.
And obviously this is something you are kind of quite big on, but not having just one singular line. So how much would you say that?
I think a singular line gives you too narrow a focus, and you tend to project subconsciously a continuation of that very thin line. Having the triple track there certainly gives you a much wider channel to start with, which I would definitely advocate from the start.
Yeah.
But also what this does, matching up with the putter, once you got putter and ball matched up, then you can perhaps start to see that channel, that line, that wider line a little bit more clearly as well.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you've already incorporated the pace you're trying to hit it.
Absolutely.
That kind of opens up not the exact starting point, but it gives you an idea.
It gives you an idea of where you want to start it. What I would like to add into that is, if you can connect the start line with the finish line. So if you practice, I've seen so many people just practicing start line, and guess what they become good at?
Start line,
yeah, exactly. but it doesn't really bear much relevance to the full putt.
Yeah, it's not.
So if you think about how's the ball going to behave in the first 2 feet, and how's it going to behave in the last 2 feet, and then you can allow your brain to join the dots, if you like, between the start line and the finishing line.
Piece together the middle.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because in any race, you think about skiers. Are they thinking about the start line? Or do you think about the finishing line? What's more important?
Finishing line.
Absolutely.
They want to win.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
As we all do.
You want to get the ball to drop in. Where it starts is important, clearly. But if you're going to set some tees up, as I've seen a lot of people do, a track of tees or whatever, and they're just trying to get it started online, you're not really paying any attention to the pace or to the task, which is to get the ball in the hole. So if you are going to use tees, I would suggest you use a couple at the finishing line.
Yeah.
Because
as a kind of visual aid for you.
Because then you'll kind of start to figure out the start line relative to the finishing line. So start line on its own is important, but it has to have some connection to the rest of the putt.
Yeah.
And the most important part of the putt, which is where the ball finishes.
Yeah, what happens at the end.
Where the ball finishes is probably a little bit more important than when it starts.
So in essence, it's figure out the kind of, get an idea for the pace, and then work from the hole backwards to the start. And that will give you an easier sense.
Jack Nicklaus did this throughout his career, apparently. He would visualise the ball from where it was going to start, the journey it was going to take, and then he would retrace that journey from the hole back to the ball, because it kind of reinforces it. It's like drawing a line with yellow paint to the hole, but then drawing another one over it on the way back, so it's more vivid, it's more clear, and it connects the start line to the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, it also makes perfect sense, because I know I do it when I play, and I know a lot of other players do it. If you've got a putt and you hit it a wee bit too hard, you're always looking at what it does from the hole back to where it finishes for what's coming back. So in a sense, it's just doing that straight from the outset instead of waiting until you've hit a putt too hard and then doing it. So I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you're almost paying attention to the next putt rather than this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so the old cliche, one shot at a time, one putt at a time.
Exactly.
So again, if you can connect your start line, which clearly is important, because you don't want to start it over there when the hole's over there.
Yeah.
But if you connect it to the finishing line and then allow your brain and body to kind of join the dots in between,
Yeah.
on you go.
No pressure.
No pressure. You miss, you lose. No pressure.
Thankfully, it's a nice, easy putt. I've set myself
Exactly,
up
yeah.
on a lovely windy day.
You like a challenge, don't you?
Oh well, I don't know about
Is it possible you could hold this putt?
that. Absolutely, yeah.
There you go. It's a good start.